Emily Bruce. I'm a yoga teacher and a yoga therapist, and this is a short journaling practice to help you release 2024 and to help set you up for the best 2025 possible. So grab your favourite notebook and a pen and let's get started. Let's pause for a moment before we begin. Maybe get a little bit settled in your seat. Maybe light a candle, whatever it is that helps you arrive in a space that feels special, meaningful to you. Maybe we place hands on our heart. Maybe we close our eyes and take a couple of long, slow breaths. Nice deep breaths in and long, slow breaths out. One more breath like that. If eyes are closed, maybe blinking them open. And getting hold of your pen and your piece of paper, maybe writing the date at the top. It's a nice way to start. And then, so we're going to use 3 prompts for releasing 2024, and we're going to use 2 prompts for setting us up for 2025, and then we're going to do a very short intention setting practice, setting a sankalpa for the year, so creating a mantra, a affirmation for you, if you like. Okay, so the first question that we're going to pose to ourselves, and as I said, we're going to write for about a minute on each journaling prompt. The first one is moments of growth. What were the most challenging or transformative moments of 2024? So again, maybe if you want to close your eyes for a moment and take a long, deep breath. Think back to what were the hardest times of this year. What created the most transformation and change for you? And then just make write down a word, a sentence, and just make a point of whatever that was for you. And then contemplate for a moment, what did you learn about yourself and your resilience through that experience? So I'm making some notes now. What were the most challenging or transformative moments of the year, and what did you learn about yourself and your resilience as a result of them? Last few seconds on that one, and absolutely, when the video is finished, if you want to go back and write these prompts down and spend 5 or 10 minutes on each one, then that would be an excellent practice to do. Moving on then, gratitude and abundance. What blessings brought you the most joy and meaning in 2024? So again, if you want to close your eyes and take a breath and think back over the year, what were the high points? If you could pick just one, what was the most meaningful to you? Making a note, a word, a couple of words, a sentence to register gratitude for that joyful event in your life. And how can you carry the essence of that gratitude forward to attract even more abundance and positivity in 2025? So what are you going to do? So it might have been something that seemingly happened to you that was very joyful, but how can you recreate that feeling? How can you be the sort of person that kind of thing happens to more often in the year to come? Taking a few moments to jot down, make any notes, anything that comes to mind when you think about that. Last few seconds on that one. And then finally on this side, creating space. So thinking about the year that's gone, what are you ready to release? What are you ready to let go of? Fears, habits, energies that no longer align with the life that you want in 2025. What qualities of self, parts of your day or week or life are you ready to jettison? To allow space for all the great stuff that's going to happen in 2025, we've got to let go of some stuff so that we've got space to welcome in this new great stuff that's coming for us this year. So what is it that you choose to let go of? Just taking some time to ponder that for a moment maybe, and then writing down anything that comes. Don't censor yourself, allow it to flow. Maybe it's something that you've been meaning to change for a long time. Maybe it's something new that's just come up onto your radar. Last few seconds on that one. And then moving forward into 2025. So let's start to imagine what we want it to be. Dream big, don't limit yourself. Okay, dream year visualization. Imagine it's December 2025, fast forward 12 months. We quite often overestimate how much we can do in a day or a week, but underestimate how much we can achieve in a year. So go big with this. Imagine it's December 2025, you've lived your dream year. What does your life look and feel like? What are you most grateful for? Maybe taking a moment to pause and breathe on that. Visualize it, imagine how it feels in your body. I'm writing down anything that comes to you. Dream big. Get into the feelings that you want to have. Who is it that you want to be? How do you want your life to feel? Last few seconds on that one. And then let's make it manifest. Let's do it. So thinking about those qualities or those things that you want to have happened in this year to come, what small changes can you make now to move closer to the life you want in 2025? So thinking maybe in the next days, weeks, maybe in January, what do you need to do to take concrete steps towards having that year? Who do you need to become? If it is an external goal, what needs to shift internally for you to allow it to happen, for you to create it? Writing down anything that comes up, again, not censoring yourself, letting it flow. Last few seconds on that one. And then coming towards the end of that one, so we've got, a dream vision for the year. We've got some plans about how we're going to get started on it. And I think when we're making these kind of changes, and I love the turning of the year, it's a beautiful time to think about intention and what we want. It marks the passage of time, doesn't it? And what do we want to achieve in the next passage of time? So part of creating these changes in our life, we quite often, so there are 3 S's. And people get really hung up on one of those S's and they forget about the other two. So the first one that people always start with their strategy. How am I going to get there? So that last point that we did then, which is important, we need it, it's how we get stuff done, right? But the other two are more important. So the first one I'll mention is our state. How do you change your state, the way that you feel? And yes, obviously, I'm going to say that yoga is an excellent way to do that, but going for a walk, going for a run, breathing practices, meditation to some extent, they change our state. When we paused at the beginning of this exercise and just did that a couple of moments of long, slow breaths, we've changed our state. We've adjusted our nervous system. So that's the second S that I think is more important than our strategy. And then the first S, so if we start with this one, then we won't go far wrong. Before we think about our state and our strategy, we need to change our story. The underlying ideas that we have about who we are and what we're capable of, and the main frame in which we hold all of our experience of our life. So I'm going to give you a practice now to help you to begin to change your story so that you really can become the sort of person that all of these things are going to happen to. So first of all, we're going to write down, and I use the word trigger words here, but you could change that. That could just be what we're moving away from, where we are now and where we want to get to. So trigger words is the phrase that I would use, but write down where you are. So whatever it is, this idea, this concept, this person that we want to become, where are you now? What do you most want to change about your experience of being you? It could be anything. You can go as big or as small, as deep or as shallow, anything at all. Do you want to exercise more? Do you want to be more compassionate? Do you want to do more work for charity? Do you want to feel more connected to the people around you? Do you want to dampen your ego and be more authentic and real? What is it? It could be absolutely anything. Write down a few words that are around where you are now with that. Where are you now? What are we moving away from? I can be selfish. I eat too much. I am lazy. So it's the self-talk, the negative self-talk that you have about where you are now. So what is the language? And it has to be the language that resonates with you, that you use in your head and in your mind. I'm stupid. I'm not worthy. I'm whatever it is. Could be anything at all. I'm not a great parent. I'm not a great employee. I'm not whatever. Or I am too much of something. I'm too loud. I'm too quiet. Just a couple of words, 2 or 3 words, maybe more. And then we're going to move on to our goal words. So sometimes they're going to be antonyms, the opposite of those words that we've just written down. But it's where we're going to. Where is it we want to get to? What's the goal of all of this? So if it was I am lazy, then the words would be I am energetic, or I am active, or I am busy, or I am... If it was I am selfish, then it would be I am selfless, I am giving, I give to charity, I spend my time on others. I'm giving you lots of examples here. I should stop doing that. And you use your own words that resonate with you, that are not where we're going from, but they're where we're going to now. So what are your goal words? Just write them down. Anything that resonates, anything that comes to mind. You might end up with a little list, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words. Crosswords out if you write them down and change your mind. And then we're going to move on to make it positive and present tense. So this is creating an affirmation, a sankalpa. And these aren't things that we are, say, creating a sankalpa. We don't create these. This isn't something that we're imagining. This is something that's already within us, that we are tapping into and allowing to shine through us. So whatever your goal words are, we're going to sort of just make it into a positive present tense statement. So it might be, if you started off by thinking that you're lazy, for example, it might be, I am hardworking, or my effort flows easily, or I do everything I need to do. Again, your words will be whatever they are, and just writing down whatever comes to mind here, making sure that it is positive and present tense. I am, I have, I feel, such and such flows through me, such and such is my true nature. So just getting those words, capturing them, and then I've given you another space underneath. So if you are using the form that's on my website, you've got a space underneath where you can refine this. So just refining what you've written above, make it positive and present tense, and then tweak it. So updating it, finalizing it. And then if you're getting towards a Sankalpa that's feeling, it's got to feel a bit emotive, it want to feel like it lands with you, then we're using the space underneath to write down our final version of that. If you've got the form, if not, it doesn't matter. You just put quotes around it or a box around it, but just making that intention statement. So it might be, I am loving kindness, or whatever your words are, informed by the form, the words that we've just written down. Write it down, underline it, draw a box around it, do some hearts, whatever makes it, land for you. And then we're going to just do a little practice with that. So I like hands on heart. It draws me into myself, into that space in my heart, that loving kindness, that openness, that receptivity. Take that intention, that affirmation you've just created. We're going to state it a few times now and allow it to land within you, maybe making your breath a little bit longer and a little bit slower. Just silently or out loud, stating it to yourself a few times now, really letting it land and resonate within you. If when you say it out loud or recite it to yourself, the words don't feel quite right or something needs a little shift, grab your pen again, update it, change it, tweak it, come back, recite it again. Pause the video if you need to. Do that as many times as you need to until you've got an affirmation that feels transformative, that represents the change you want to make. And let's do it twice more. Long, slow breaths, reciting it to yourself. Let it land within. And then if eyes are closed, blinking them open, releasing hands. I suggest that you might want to have that as the first thing you say to yourself in the morning when you wake up, the last thing you say to yourself when you go to bed at night. Maybe if you have a meditation or a regular yoga practice or some type, a ritual, something where you light a candle and you just take 5 minutes to yourself, just say it 3 times to yourself. It's neuroplasticity. We have the ability to change the way that the neurons fire, the pathways that our neurons fire down in our brains. And one excellent way for us to do that is through affirmation. So this is intentionally changing the way that your brain works. And if you do it immediately before bed, it's the thing that you focus on with intention immediately before you go to sleep. Your mind, that is when you're asleep, that's when the changes happen. But when you focus on it intentionally, that's when those neurons are earmarked for change. So before bed or before meditation or before a guided relaxation is a fantastic time to just state that affirmation 3 times to yourself to help you become the person that you choose to be and to help you have an intentional 2025. I really hope you found that practice to be useful. Do let me know if you did. Obviously, follow, like, subscribe, comment below. I would love, love, love to hear about your experiences with it. And I wish you a wonderful, joyful and abundant 2025.